Hi, Mike here with another one of my orienteering videos. This is day 2 of the 2025 Georgia Navigator Cup. This is part of the US Masters. This is the long distance race. I did the video on day 1 and I'll link to that in the description below. I won't have a video of day 3 because in fact after today's race I injured my knee and didn't do the 3rd day. Such is life. So here's the course, and I made a mistake today right at the start because I forgot to turn on my GPS watch until I was between controls 3 and 4. So that was a bit of a bummer, but we'll get on with that. Also later on in the course you'll find between controls 12 and 13 I crash landed into a swamp, swore a little bit, which I will dub out in the video. Apart from that, it went pretty well. It was a very hilly course. It was advertised as being hilly. And so let's get on with it and see how things go. So here's the start. Time to collect the map. Now at last year's US Masters I came second. I got a nice medal. So I was hoping I would maybe get in the top 3 again this year. And having done well yesterday, that was a reasonable expectation. So we're about to go now. So the first control was just a straight jog to get to the first control. It was really a way for the organisers to get us over the bridge, over the river. I thought I'd start out fairly slowly because I knew it was going to be a hilly race. But having said that, I was a bit disappointed about how far ahead the other two got from me right early on. Here we are at the bridge. It's kind of scenic, crossing the river, and also this trail gave you a good chance to scope out the rest of the course. You can see that going to number 2 was also going to be navigationally pretty straightforward. So I was at this point thinking, how am I going to get from 2 to 3? And taking a glance at the rest of the course as well. First one done. Off to number 2, which was just a case of going along the trail by the river and then coming across up the hill, up the first of many hills. Okay, time to go around the junction and then slog up the hill to the control, which was at the foot of a crag. We're not going to show you all of this climb because it takes a while. So here we are, made it, huffing and puffing. Control number 2. Now for the plan to get to 3, I did consider going to the left and then sort of going around the trail and up and in. And I thought of going more or less straight, which is what I decided to do. So let's see how that goes. So we just start going around the side of the hill till we get to the trail, and then we pick up the trail to get to the sort of pass at the top. And then once we're at the top, we just cut off and go down across the next valley, trying to sort of take a compass check to make sure I'm going in the right direction. And it's just sort of straight on down this hill. And over the ditch at the bottom. Chance to get wet feet. Then up the hill the other side until we get to the next trail. Now I can see the valley off to the left, and I should be sort of contouring along that, so I start to go in, but I think I'm not far enough along because it's going down quite steeply, so that means that I'm not as far along the trail as I really need to be, so I just carry on a bit further. And I'm going to look for the valley on the left of me to be sort of nearer to the trail, which is about where it is here. So I'm going to cut down here and then go into the control, hopefully. So we'll speed it up and see how that goes. And look at that, I was spot on because there's the control. That was well done. Now we're going from 3 to 4, which is more or less going straight. You can look for the trail junction if you're that far off to the right, about 2/3 of the way around the leg. Let's see how I get on with this one. I actually decided to go pretty straight, and part way on this leg we'll catch up with the Livelock's route mapping. As you can see, the visibility in the forest is really good. It's not particularly rocky underfoot, so the runnability is good as well. So it should make for fast times, except that of course it's hilly. So this is the first trail that we're coming across. So we're going to speed things up, but show most of this route and see how it goes. So around the first big hillside. Pity I can't keep my head up a little bit higher when I'm struggling along, then you'll be able to get a better view. Here we can see we're going around this ridge, and you can see we just picked up the Livelock's live trail following the little map on the top left corner. So I'm using a sort of combination of compass to keep me on track, and the contours and the trails. You can kind of see the bend in the path. It's crossing over the little stream there. Taking a quick look to see if I can figure out where I'm exactly crossing the trail. Now the control is on this gentle spur up ahead. And because there are really no features to do the close-in navigation, I am kind of hoping that it's going to be fairly easy to spot. It's not like it's a rootstock that I'm looking for where the control will be behind it, or a boulder where the control will be behind it. It ought to be fairly visible. Probably stop then for a moment because I'm getting a bit tired. Slogging up this hill. And we're getting closer to it. I am a little bit off to the right. Kind of figure that out. And there's the control up ahead. You can see it. So I was definitely going the right way. And it was visible from a long way off, which I was happy about. Okay, 4 to 5. Well, the route seemed fairly straightforward. Go down the hill a bit to the trail, round the trail to the corner, then down the hill and sort of pick up that re-entrant halfway down the hill as a way to guide you in towards the control. So let's see how that goes. Down the hill to the trail. Here's the trail. It is a little bit hard to see in the video with the leaves, but here we are. We're going to go around the trail to the corner of it. Okay, here we are approaching the corner. Let's see how far I go before I duck off into the woods. And here we go. So we're going to be going downhill, looking for that re-entrant to help guide us. Pretty open, looks like it's not too far away. Let's speed things up a little bit so we see how we get there. Okay, now you can clearly see this re-entrant. So we're going to actually go across it. And let's speed things up again. Alright, so I'm kind of using the shape of the land to the left. I should be seeing the spur, so I should be down the hillside a little bit, and my compass. And there's one fallen tree there that I'm just going past. And you can actually see this other orienteer coming out of what I suspect could be the control. So you can kind of use other competitors as a guide if you want to at times. But in fact that was not far enough to the control, so I carried on going. And here we can see some fallen trees. And the control should just be around the back of one of these. It says it's on the eastern fallen tree. And there it is. Nicely done. Reach over for it. Alright, 5 to 6 is basically going to be straight with the compass contouring around some hillsides. I suppose you could follow this trail if you can find it, but it's not essential because the woodland is so open and runnable. And then use this other re-entrant near the control to know when you should be approaching it, and hopefully with this number of rocky features there, should be able to find them and guide your way in, even if you're a little bit to the left or right of the straight line. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, approaching the first re-entrant, which we're on a good course, as you can see from the LiveLox route tracking. It's going to go straight down and up. So let's do that. So here we are coming up the other side, coming over this spur. And then we're going to look for that, we should be crossing that other re-entrant next, so let's speed up till we get there. Okay, here we are at the small re-entrance, so it should just be a matter of carrying on in the same direction. Up and over a little bit more, and then down into what should be some rocky area. I should be able to figure out where the control is when I get there. So let's see how easy it is to spot the rocky features. I mean, I'm on a bang on a straight line here, which is great, but even if I was off to the left or the right by 10 or 20 meters or so, I'd still see these features. So there we are. It's actually a northwest boulder that I'm looking for. So I'm just sort of figuring out the final details, and I need to go down a bit. Which I have to do pretty carefully with my knees, that's why it's all going so slow at this point. Not that I don't know where I am or where I'm going. I will get there. Should be here any moment now. And there it is. Very nicely done, even at a modest speed. Alright, 6 to 7. I did take a quick look to see if there was a way to go left around this hillside in front of me to avoid the climb, but that was going to be too far down and would have resulted in climb at the end, so it really wasn't worth it. So basically it's go and aim for the pass up the valley and then basically go more or less straight to the control. We'll see how that goes. Firstly, get around the side of this hill. So you can see as we come around it, there's the valley in front of us that will lead up to that pass when we cross the track. And here we are at the trail. Just going to pretty much go straight over it, down the hill the other side. Let's hope it's not too steep and I don't have too much trouble getting down it. Well, you can see I'm going down slowly. Long gone are the days when I would just charge down this hill. Time to cross the stream at the bottom, and then there'll be the trail coming up here, and then we're just going to head straight on up the other valley. And you can see the valley in front of us there. So we're just going to go along here. Might as well speed this up a little bit. Crossing the stream at the bottom here, and then we'll be able to see this re-entrant coming up in a moment. Okay, here we are at this re-entrant. We're going to just go across it and stay on a compass direction, going straight on, so let's speed things up again. Alright, we can see the shape of the land. I can see the valley off to the left, just going up the side here, so that also helps with the direction in addition to the compass. And I'll be going over this sort of side of this hill, up and over it a little bit. Fairly shallow, but you will be able to see that. I lift my head up. So we're just going over the brow, and then we'll be able to look down into the valley where the control is. And I don't have an exact understanding of where I am in terms of left to right. So I didn't aim off. I mean, it looks like I'm aiming off, and then when I hit the stream I should just make a left turn, but I wasn't actually being that smart. So the control is on a wall, and it wasn't very obvious what the wall was. There was one down there to the right. It was just a little sort of thing above the across the stream, but it didn't look like there was a control there. Well, I couldn't see anything else, so I went downstream a little bit because it's very clear that the control is in this little valley somewhere. I say stream, it's more of a ditch, and there it is. Because at this point I was wondering, where's the wall? It's that thing there across the ditch. Oh well, made it anyway. 7 to 8 was just a matter of going down the
wall first.
valley, just staying off to the left of it, looking for a gully. Hopefully it's not too difficult to find. So let's see how this goes. And pretty much come straight to it. You can see it in front of us. There it is. Nice straightforward control. 7 to 8 was really set by the control planner just to make this turn. So we go back to 9. So 8 to 9, thought of going straight and contouring along the hill from halfway between 8 and 9. Thought of going down to the trail and then running along the trail, and I figured even though the woods are pretty runnable, I felt that I would be able to make faster progress on that big trail to the right. So that's the way I decided to go. So we're just going down the hill to the trail, which you can just see off in the distance there. And here we are, made it onto the trail, and now it's just straightforward run down the trail. Actually able to pick up a bit of speed, and then just make sure I make a good decision as to where to come off the trail. First checkpoint is the trail up to the left, so I know exactly where I am. Now the map indicates some kind of pile of junk on the left. I was hoping I could find that item, that thing, but whatever it was, but I didn't see it. So I did carry on. I realized that I didn't have an exact marker in my mind as to where to go to the left, and I wasn't pace counting, but it wasn't too difficult to make a judgment call as to when to turn off. And I think I'm about to dive in and hope that I won't have too much difficulty finding the rootstock, because it will be in a small valley up the other side of the hill. So let's get over there and see what happens. Okay, we just crossed over the flat ground, going to do yet another climb. Let's cross over the stream and then use it if I can grab pole to help me get up the hill. And then we should be able to see this little re-entrant, hopefully see that fairly soon. If I lift my head up, maybe we'll be able to see it. There it is. So it was a very clear feature, and I could already see the control up there, so not too difficult to do this. So they're all coming down the hill. I'm going up it. There's the control. So 9 to 10. First thing is to get down to the bridge, which is more or less make a straight line direction for where the first control is. Then go across the bridge and go up the hill again. Well, this hill for the first time, but it's uphill again. So we're just going to go down this. And then we're going to cross the stream again at the bottom. Don't know why I'm going so slow across it. Not like it's a major obstacle. And then we're going to go across the flatland to the trail into the control one. So here we are on the trail again. That is the first control there. So we're going to go back over the pretty bridge again. Now you can see some people are still just out starting their course while I'm coming towards the final part of it. Going to go down here, and then that's the start up ahead, by the way. Don't need to run through that. Turn off here and go up another hill. So we're just looking for this pass, which I'm thinking isn't going to be too difficult to find, and there it is right in front of us. So 10 to 11 is just a case of going around the green stuff, such as it is, to get to the road, the big trail, whatever it is, go along it a little bit, and then see the corner, and then cut in and find the control. And there it is. Nice and straightforward. So 11 to 12, just go back out to the trail, cut across it, down the hill, and into the control. I was a little annoyed at having gone a bit too far to the right. There's the control. So 12 to 13 should just be a matter of carrying on down the hill, across the road, and up a little bit on the other side. But there was an incident here coming up about now. Yeah, it's got a cramp. Yeah, I'll be fine. So what happened was my left foot lost its footing. My right foot then sank above my knee. I then fell over flat onto my side, and then my right calf decided, hey, let's have a cramp. So it was really painful for a while. But I got up. Yeah, see, it was pretty tough going. So it wasn't quite the straightforward ride across there that I thought it was going to be. But I got going again. Didn't lose too much time out of it, even though it was pretty painful. So just go across this little bit of road and then straight up that valley in front of us to the control on the end of the ditch. It shouldn't be too hard to find. And there it is, you can see it in front of us right now. Only one more to go. Could be a little bit tricky. I mean, it should be okay, but you always want to be a bit careful as you approach in the end. So we're going to go out onto the trail. Now, coming along here, I had thought of going along the trail to the road of the parking lot and to the round, so like bending to the left. But I thought, nah, the woods are fine here. I'll just cut in here and go straight and assume that I can spot the control in the valley. And as it's near the finish, there might be a bunch of people near it anyway that can help guide me into it. So we're just going to go straight here. So here we are, here's like the shallow valley, and the control should be easy enough to find. I can't see it at the moment. It'll just be by rootstock. You can see a fallen tree ahead of me there. So I'm pretty sure that's where the control is. Oh, well, it wasn't that one, it was this bigger one, but it was in the same direction. And then it's just going to be a case of trying to put in some kind of burst to get to the finish. More like an increased steady plod rather than a finishing sprint. It was a great course. Certainly enjoyed it, even though a lot of climb. The woods were really nice to go through today. And that was the end of this run. I got so muddy on my right leg and foot that I would stay with friends on Saturday night, and they had an outside tap which I had to use to clean off all my gear. I had heard that one or two competitors, after they finished, went down the hill like straight ahead to the lake and jumped into the lake to clean themselves up. But that wasn't me. And because my knee was a bit sore after this race, I did not do the next race on Sunday, but I finished this one. So here's the results. I came in third, about a minute behind Jim Arsenault, who I'd beaten on the Friday's race. But there we go. And although I was looking forward to Sunday's race, as I said before, I was unable to do that. But I really enjoyed the two races that I did, so many thanks to Georgia Orienteering Club for putting on the event. I look forward to coming back down to Georgia again, January 2026. Bye for now.